I don't want to live anywhere besides Israel. The country, the land, the people. I love the people of Israel. I love the land of Israel. I love the Torah of Israel. I love the God of Israel. Yeah. I have some slight grievances with the government, but that being said, I don't think they're any worse than any other government. In fact, if you had to point to one government in the world that's the most moral, that takes the best care of its citizens, protects its own citizens and foreign citizens that are visiting, and terrorists that are trying to kill us, I'm saying, like, we actually protect the terrorists. Like certain other countries, if they went through what we were going through here in Israel, they just bombed the shit out of everyone. Fuck civilians. They wouldn't care, right? I'm just saying, I think, even though I have grievances with this government, I think they are the best from any government worldwide. And the only reason why I'm so tough on them is because I hold them to a higher standard as a Jew. Because they're not claiming to be a secular government, even though they are. They're claiming that they're the Jewish government, their biblical government, that was promised in the Bible, that we'll return to Israel. They're claiming that that's them. And to me, it's like, okay, if you're going to say that, then I'm going to point out every hypocrisy and everything you do wrong, because that you're clearly not that. Now, some people, like my friend Yoshi, for example, who's probably a lot smarter than me, he thinks that, so what that they're corrupt? God is using them, and he's going to bring redemption through them. Why can't, this is his opinion, why can't God bring redemption through sinners? Like, why not? What, secular people can't bring about redemption? And I hear that, and I cannot argue with that. I cannot give a solid argument against it. I just don't like it. I want Messiah to show up in an orthodox looking way, you know? Maybe not necessarily black and white, but not secular, you know? Even though I'm secular, more or less, even though I try not to be, but I don't know what. So anyways, I just wanted to clarify. I love the state of Israel. I don't think there's a better place in the world to live as a Jew or not as a Jew. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't think there's a country where you'll have a better life. I really don't. Even financially, by the way. Everyone was always saying how it's like really hard to make money in Israel, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, I think it's just as hard to make money in the US today. I think in the US today, you know, like, you could be making $25 an hour, and here it's like you're making like $10 an hour and $15 an hour. But, you know, in the USA, you're going to pay $25 for a sandwich, and here you're not. Here you'll pay 10 or 15. So it's expensive everywhere. I love the state of Israel. I don't think you'll find a better place in the world. And what did I mean that it's a vassal state of Britain? I meant that, dude, we don't have biblical law here. Like, for example, the whole COVID thing, that wasn't like a biblical law, dude. I've got arrested in Israel with my wife while she's pregnant, and they separated us, which, why the hell are you separating a couple, okay? But you know what our charges were? Not wearing a mask, in public, in the middle of the night, when we were alone. It was just me and her. There was no one around. We were sitting on a patch of grass in the middle of the nowhere. So you tell me, oh, what Bible verse can you point to that supports that? None, absolutely none. And if you can find a Bible verse, then you're retarded. If you can find a Bible verse and finagle your way into showing that that's why they arrested us for that, you know what I'm saying? They're not following biblical law. Whose law are they following then? Why don't you trace the state and see where the judiciary comes from? It comes from Britain. That's what I mean. We're a vassal state for Britain. Someone's like, no, it's really the U.S. I don't think so. We don't follow U.S. law here. It's British law. We follow British law. So that's what I mean, dude. What do I want to see? Do I want to see a biblical court and a biblical system? I don't know, but I don't like this halfway. Like, in the current form in the government, I think public transport should be available on Shabbat. Why can't I take a bus to Tel Aviv on Shabbat? Like, the public transportation, why do I have to take these, like, private charters? You know? They say because we're a religious state. You're a religious state? Then follow biblical law. Like, it's a very confusing state right now, you know? Dude, I'm not a self-hating Jew. I'm really not. And I'm not an anti-Israel. I'm not exactly like the secular modern Zionists either. Like, I don't really connect with Herzl or any of these fathers of Zion. It's not my, I'm saying they wanted to make a Jewish state in Uganda. They didn't care about Israel. For them, it's all about Jewish nationalism, that we should have a strong Jewish army and blah, blah, blah. To me, that's not the way of the Jew in exile. The way of the Jew in exile is not that we need to be strong and be like the Goyim and have an army. That was their opinion. That's not my opinion. So that's where we differ a little bit. Where do we agree? We agree that, I don't know. I never studied Herzl. Honestly, I don't know. But that's not today's Zionism. Today's Zionism, it's less about like just being a powerful nation. Even the secular Jews, they don't want to give up an inch of the Holy Land. Not just because it's ours and we want to be a nation. I think, and not just because they realize it's a security issue. I think today, most, even secular Jews in Israel, will admit to you that the land is holy. They will say the Shema prayer. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. They probably will put on tefillin maybe once in a while if the Chabadnik comes and offers them tefillin. You get what I'm saying? Like today, I don't think there's too many really, really secular Zionists. I think almost everyone's a little bit more spiritual, religiously connected, biblically connected,